And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about you, helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. It's all about helping you win in your real estate decisions, your mortgage, your finance, estate and tax planning. Over 80 categories of consumer advocate advice and content here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to make sure we can engage with you as well. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
That's our Consumer Advocate hotline. You can give us a call or a text on that line, 813-670-7372. And give us a call on the Consumer Quarterback Show hotline. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you at consumerqb.com. This segment is brought to you by Infinity Medical Institute, a longtime friend of the show here in the Tampa Bay area. 10 years in the business, over 40,000 patients successfully treated, and they are the leading experts in bio-natural hormone replacement therapy in the greater Tampa area. Infinity Medical Institute's exclusive hormone therapy options, not only the most effective in the field, but they cannot be duplicated anywhere. And we're talking about ways that you can improve your life through lots of different areas. We're talking about low T therapy, weight loss plans, cosmetic services like Botox, improved sexual wellness, and increased energy. Infinity Medical Institute online at infinitymedicalinstitute.com. Give them a call directly at 813-871-2929, 813-871-2929, located at 1715 Northwest Shore Boulevard in Tampa, suite number 100. Give them a call, let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a great lineup for you today. Diane, Vance, back in studio, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Welcome back in.
Oh, thank you for having me, Brandon. Great to be here. Today I'm going to talk about the holidays.
All right, right here. They're already here.
I know.
Wow.
I was just telling you, I was at the Gaylord, and they already have their Christmas decorations up, and I'm out in Texas, and I'm like, wow, it's coming.
It's here.
Earlier.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So Diane Vance, local lender, support the local economy. Going to do some mortgage updates for us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Okay.
All right, good stuff. We got NIckerson in the house as well. Bottomzupp, welcome back, sir.
Hey, always great to be here. I love your platform. What you do for the community, it means a lot to us at Bottomzupp, and we're love to just be a small part of what you do in this great platform. And I'd also like to talk about the holidays. It's that time of year to, to sit back and collectively think of why you're in business and what you do for people out there in the community.
Yeah.
And at this time of year when people are, getting their houses ready for Christmas and Thanksgiving and the holidays, we play a small part in that. So I'd like to talk about the part that we play in that process and reflect on why we're in business.
Yeah, absolutely. So floor removal experts, Bottomzupp in the house here in studio as well. We got Ray Hall just walked in. Is his mic hot yet? We got a hot mic yet? Yeah, okay. Ray Hall in the house.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well, buddy. Doing well, man. So the appraisal business, what's happening out there?
Still busy out there, but I can see those increases are slowing down a little bit. We're not seeing those big jumps in value like we were seeing in 2017.
Right.
In fact, I was just doing a report this morning and looking at my analysis. It was pretty flat over the past 6 months. So, and it's not the time to, have the alarms going off. We're not looking at another 2007, but it's good. We're looking at a healthy market.
It is a healthy market. Yeah. I agree.
Sale times are starting to extend out there a little bit, but, I think we're still looking good and, make sure you know that value before you go into that investment.
That's right. Low inventory still. We still have low inventory. So if anybody out there is thinking about selling, we'd love to talk to you about your value of your home. If you text value to the show, we'll help you out here with the value. We'll even get you in touch with Ray Hall Appraisals if you'd like to get a deeper look as well. So call our hotline, 813-670-7372. And that is our Consumer Advocate hotline. So we've got a great lineup for you today here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I got a couple of hot listings. I want to let you know about a hot property listing that we have here in Tampa, or in Tampa Bay rather. This one's in Palm Harbor on Citrus Hill Lane, 1810 Citrus Hill Lane, Palm Harbor. This is a nice property, affordable home, right at $295,000 asking price, and it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath property. You got a pool in the backyard, screened-in lanai, and a fenced-in backyard as well. And you have a no-salt water filtration system as well. The previous owner is a master plumber and water specialist as well. Very nice pool home. Lots of extras, including solar panels to heat the pool. 1810 Citrus Hill Lane in Palm Harbor, right off of Belcher. They're in a great location in Tampa. 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs. This is a $500,000 property that we've got listed as well, just over a $500,000 asking price. 216 North Spring Boulevard, Tarpon Springs. Gorgeous home. This has beautiful flooring throughout, updated kitchens, and a huge downstairs area as well. The entire downstairs is just a great opportunity, kind of a blank canvas down there. Could be a gym, could be a home-based business. Huge area there in beautiful Tarpon Springs. The walkability of this home as well. You walk to downtown, check out the beautiful photography compliments of Fairway Frameworks here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. We got Diane, Vance in the house. Fairway Independent Mortgage, helping folks with all types of loan programs, FHA, conventional VA. You got the renovation loan programs out there. Lots of things happening in the mortgage space.
Yeah, I just got back from a meeting I was doing in Dallas, and it's interesting. They gave us a product overview. We have 4,572 products. We have 35 specialty products.
Wow.
403 down payment assistance products, and 86 bond programs. And those are national, of course, but
Wow.
we do a lot of the down payment assistance program in the Tampa Bay area. I want to tell people that if they're interested in getting in before before Christmas,
Yeah.
Or homestead by the end of the year, now's the time to get pre-approved.
Great point. You know,
Yeah.
I talked about this too yesterday on a Facebook Live a video that I did. People have this excuse around the holidays. Oh, I don't want to sell around the holidays. I want to just slow it down. And I get it. It's cool. Some people want to do that. But there are some really earnest buyers out there right now.
Oh, yeah. And we're busy. I mean, we are up every month. We've been up like 17 to 18%.
Wow.
In our from last year, each month I measure that. So we're busy, and we have a lot of buyers in our. I think I talked about the 321 program last week, which is a pre-approval program, and we put you right in the system as though you have a home and you don't yet. We have a lot of buyers that are sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
They can't find homes,
Wow.
or they're ready to buy and they get bid out or whatever. So they're earnestly looking for homes to actually buy.
Yep.
So if you're thinking about selling, it's a good time to sell. And if you're thinking about buying, of course, it's a good time to buy because interest rates are still very good.
And I want to dive deeper on the reasons why too. So job transfer,
Yep.
closer to work, closer to the beach.
Cold up north.
Cold up north. We've got Arctic blast coming next week
Yes.
too. I'm
This
looking
is when
forward
we
to
get
it.
busy.
Yes, I'm looking forward to. So school transfers.
Correct.
Kids are moving school. Husband's
Yep.
going back to school. Whatever the situation might be. You mentioned the homestead exemption and also taxes.
Yes. Yeah, you can actually, you want to get your taxes taken care of. And, and it's also can be a write-off depending on your individual situation.
Sure.
So it definitely is it's a great time of year to buy. And December's usually very, very busy for us because of the homestead. A lot of people want to make sure they're in by the end of the year so that they can actually file for that deduction in March. You have to be living in the property and close prior to the end of December.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Support your local economy. You support the Consumer Quarterback Show as well when you do that. Now, when you think about the down payment assistance programs, the homestead exemption, there's so many reasons why people want to buy real estate and not be a renter.
Oh, correct. Yeah. Well, you build wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to build wealth, and that's the way you build wealth. I mean, you think about people that, for instance, myself built a house in 2001, and it's up double of what it was when I, bought it. So,
Wow.
You're building wealth, even with anything that's happened in the real estate market, it tends to actually rebound.
Mm-hmm.
So, our average, and you could actually talk about this, Rick, a little bit more, but our average, Ray, I'm sorry. I was going to give Rick your job.
I'm here with you.
You talk about, the average is what 4% a year, 3 to 4% a year, even in just a normal
Right.
market.
That's right.
So, if you're renting, that's not your increase. That's your landlord's increase, and they're just increasing your rent.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about the same example that you give on the radio. So the numbers were in my head.
Oh, good.
$1,200 a month
Yes,
rent.
right.
5 years, $85,000.
Yep, that's right.
That's
it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of people pay more rent than that, and it's actually even bigger. I think we had one that was $126,000 that they actually spent in rent
Over 5 years.
Over 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to really think about it, think about buying, and actually, get busy and get pre-qualified. Please, when you get pre-qualified, just give me all of your information, because if I have a 40-piece puzzle and I only have 38 of the pieces, then I can't really finish it.
Yes.
So we don't like surprises. So if you give me all 40 pieces, I'll only use the pieces I need.
Yeah, exactly.
So just give me all the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, it's like dealing with an attorney. If you have a case or something happened, and whatever it might be, auto accident, business situation, if you don't tell your attorney everything,
That's right.
then you're gonna potentially have issue when you go to court.
Yeah, we keep it private. So whatever you give me or tell me, I keep it private to myself.
Yes.
And I only use what I need. So
And the best way to present it to the underwriter, if you have to present it to the underwriter.
That's correct. Yeah. We don't want her to find little things that surprise. I had a customer recently that had a lot of rental properties, and there happened to be one that showed up on the public records that I didn't have.
Oh, okay.
Makes a little difference.
Uh-oh. Yeah, exactly.
So now I have to go back and get more information. So just make sure you're very well prepared. Just have your documentation, and that's the extreme. With really big. There's a lot of people that have a lot of different businesses and things like that. But most people, probably 80% of the people population are maybe W-2 and that type. Those are very easy. So we just just give it to us and we'll tell you what we need to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Diane, Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp back in studio, and Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our feel-good story of the day, as well as a good one. We got a fanged deer, once thought to be extinct, is rediscovered in Vietnam. Interesting story here on the Consumer Quarterback Show and our feel-good story of the day. And we got 10 unforgettable quotes by Jim Rohn. We're going through a series talking about Jim Rohn as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. This was pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Kansas City Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week of 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yep. Woo! Can't remember it.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination.
Well, that's kind
As your you're super connected. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Just featured in Tampa Bay Real Producers Magazine as well, and did a great article for us here. If you're watching our TV show, you'll see some of the pictures there from it. So had a great article in that magazine. It was really well done, well written in Real Producers Magazine. You have to do over $10 million in volume to be featured in that magazine, and we're on pace for over $20 million this year, so we're real excited about that. And this segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant. The official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Taps Restaurant over at the International Plaza on Bay Street, right there by the mall. And it's got an open door, outdoor patio seating where dogs are welcome, so you can bring your furry friends. Charming interior. They've got happy hours going on throughout the week as well, 2 to 7 p.m. It's a local gastropub and burger bar as well. Taps Burger Bar and Gastropub, and they are located at the International Plaza Mall, 2223 North West Shore Boulevard in Tampa, and a very friendly staff, awesome ambiance there, excellent food, and the fish is great, the burgers are awesome. Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And a couple of hot listings here for this segment is 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. This property, it's 200 steps from the beaches, from the sugar sands of the Clearwater Beach there, dolphin-filled waters, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, and you have a 3rd bedroom in the back, but we cannot count that one because it does not have a closet, but there's actually a bedroom there, and it's got a cool patio, kind of an entertaining area as well, outdoor showers, great lifestyle that you would live here at Mandalay for your beach house, 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey, $2 million property listing of ours, 4348 Harbor Point Drive, Port Richey. This is a palace on the water. 2 security gates to make it through, so high security levels here at Harbor Point Drive, Port Richey, and a 6,700 square foot beautiful property here right on the waterfronts. Of course, you got deep water access to the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful property, great opportunity to own a beautiful home here in Tampa Bay. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, let's talk with Rick NIckerson here. Bottomzupp, back in studio, floor removal experts. Welcome in, sir.
Oh, great to be here, and what a great time. And just, to kind of bounce off what Diane was talking about, this holiday season, people talk about, slowing down or backing off on projects that they want to get done. I say nonsense. I say, let's get it done. Yeah. And, it fits my business model perfect because we set up many years ago to, provide a service that wasn't getting done. There was basically when someone said, let's get our tile removed in our house or let's get our wood removed in our house, they said, we're expecting a nightmare. I'm not ready for it. I got the holidays coming up. Our service with the state of the art equipment, our excellent customer service team. Our technicians that come out that are certified, the professional technicians are going to come out. We're going to protect your home. We're going to provide tape and plastic and air scrubbers. We're going to come in and we're going to make sure that when we leave, it's as if we were never there.
I like that.
And we're kind of reaping those benefits at this time of the year. We have people. I'm very active. Facebook presence, and there's a reason why we have a 5-star Google rating, and it's because we take care of our customers and they're important to us. And so when we get feedback about this time of the year that they send us pictures and snapshots of, look at my house and we're ready for the holidays and things like that, it really kind of gives you a good feeling to know that when we started this business, it wasn't about making money. It was about providing a service in the community that wasn't being met. Yeah. So this time of the year, I like to reflect on all that, and then you think about, 10 years ago when we started, it's just a couple of us, we had a machine and a dream, and now there's 65 souls that, their lives kind of depend on you. And, we've got that family atmosphere, and, we hope that blends over into our community that we serve so proudly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I see your trucks on the road all over the place. You got trucks out there. Several people I've ended up talking to, I said, yeah, you happen to know Bottomzupp? They're in the flooring business or something. Oh, yeah, I know Rick. And, so you got a great reputation out there.
Well, it means a lot to us, and we're that one little thing in the whole flooring process when you're going to get new floors. Let's face it, that's a big step, you plan on that, you budget for that. Talking with these two kind folks here, Diane and Ray Hall, flooring is a huge part of your appraisal process and your selling points in a house. So we play a large part in that. And when we put a new floor in a house, we're the ones that take out that old floor and set you up for success on that new floor. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people come back to me and say, thank you so much. I was so scared about this process, but you guys made it so easy from the first phone call all the way to the last phone call.
Yeah. If you just joined us, we're talking with Rick Nickerson here. Bottomzupp is his company, longtime friend of the program here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we talk about a lot about real estate here and the not only the impact it has financially and for our country as a driver, an economic driver, just a big time sector that really moves our country forward. But it's also home. It's that home where people live and they enjoy and they spend those times, they build those memories, and they're putting posts on Facebook, as you mentioned. And Ray mentioned as well, I want to bring Ray into the conversation as well.
Absolutely.
How much does a nice floor, when you walk in and you see that nice flooring, that's just, it's not the old school used to be, it's that new floor, that's going to add value, right?
And as Rick said, I was thinking, I was going to interject that, as I'm walking into the house, that's the first thing. I know a lot of times I'm looking down at my iPad, getting the app ready for what I'm doing, but I'm looking at that flooring. So, I looked at a house today and I looked down and went, oh, new tile flooring.
Nice.
And there's nothing, and it disappoints when you go into a house and sure, they've got new cabinets and they've got all this great new stuff and they've got the pet stained carpet.
Yeah.
And the thing about flooring, it really impacts a lot. I always tell people when I'm coming out to appraise your house, cleaning your house is not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
But I'm a human being, play off my psyche, light some scented candles.
Yeah.
But you've got to be careful with that flooring. You have dirty old carpet.
Yeah.
And it really impacts, it really in your senses.
Yeah.
And, it's funny, this time of year, we're talking about how people don't want to do projects this time of year. If you're thinking doing flooring, do it now and call someone like Rick to come out, because as someone who's taking care of his own flooring and tearing it up, it's not worth the hassle and the mess.
Exactly. Talk about that, Rick, the difference in time frame. And
it's, being from an old flooring background, my dad was an installer, my brother was an installer, my other brother was an installer. From the time I was young, it wasn't, hey, we're gonna go to summer camp. It was go get in the truck.
Yeah.
And so I've been around the flooring industry my entire life from both sides, and we saw a need not being met, many years ago. And so we kind of took from the restoration companies who come in when they've got mold issues or ventilation issues or water issues, damage, floods, those types of things. and we come in and we protect the home. So what we're going to do is, it's still a tough job, but with our machinery and equipment, we're going to come in with air scrubbers. We're going to come in with HEPA vacuum systems. We are going to, if you're familiar with the HBO series Dexter, the Dexter series, we're going to come in, we're going to plastic everything off. We're going to protect your lamps. We're going to protect your cabinets. We're going to seal off rooms. So our work area becomes kind of our little doctor's office. We're really good in that area. You want to stay out of that area during the removal process, but we're going to get that floor up. We're going to get it out. We're going to have an ingress egress point. We're going to have one dedicated floor. We're going to have a ventilation system set up so that we can keep airflow through the house throughout the process. We're going to remove that, and we're going to leave you with a clean slab ready for your installation team to come in and provide that service that we talk about that's so important when you're investing in a home, and that's your flooring. So we do it the right way, and that simply wasn't being met many years ago. We saw that niche. We found the equipment, and we said, you know what, let's be the best at this. And so we don't install floors, we don't do anything. We are just a removal company. It's really caught on. We started with a machine and a dream. I've got 22 trucks now, 3 divisions, 65 souls, family members, I like to call them, that have this, that share the same dream, the same goals, the same desires that I have, which is to be a presence in the community and provide a service that you can be proud of. And afterwards, when you go back and you look at the job that you've done, you leave your customer with a smile on their face.
Yeah, that's awesome. Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp, and I'm sure he can refer great companies as well when it comes to installing, and we're actually looking for expert contributor for that area as well. So if anybody out there knows, we'd love to talk to them, have them on the show potentially, and interview them for that opportunity as well. So stay with us when we come back. More from our expert contributors. Diane, Vance in the house, Fairway Independent Mortgage, Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp, and next up is Ray Hall Appraisals. We're going to talk about Tampa Bay values and things happening in the real estate market, specifically these counties surrounding our listening area. So stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up. TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it.
Ask an attorney about flooring law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards. See?
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties, featuring them in ways that other real estate companies simply cannot. We got 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. This is a hot property listing here. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. This is a 2-story home, beautifully remodeled on the interior on a freshwater canal with bay access right here in Tampa, in that Bayport area, close to the airport, about 5 minutes from the airport. Waterfront home, freshwater canal, and it's got a beautiful screened-in lanai, large lanai area as well. Boat dock. Bring your boat to this beautiful property. New ceiling fans, gorgeous tiles and floors throughout this property at 5822 Schooner Way. Owner is motivated, looking for offers on this property. 706 Wellington Court in Oldsmar, and this is a property that is again just another property with lots of updates, upgrades going on in this property. We got Tina going to be staging this property for us. Tina with Envision at Home Staging, working on that as we speak here. 706 Wellington Court in Oldsmar. Solar on the roof. Gorgeous property here. Pavers outside. 4 bedrooms, 3-car garage as well. Wellington Estates, and very close proximity again to Tampa. Lots of parks around you. Great lifestyle right there in the Oldsmar area of Tampa Bay. Check out all of our real estate properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, and they do a great job whether you're planning a local or long distance move. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are a first-class organization. They moved my family to our new lake house, and Brothers Easy Moving, highly recommended online as well. And give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got real estate talk today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Diane, Vance in the house. Fairway Independent Mortgage, supporting your local economy here. Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp as well. And now we're going to talk with Ray Hall. Ray Hall Appraisals back in studio.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man. What you seeing out there?
Like I said, seeing value starting to, kind of level off a little bit. Could be the start of a correction. You don't know. It could just be the time of the year. It's kind of a tricky time right now.
Yeah.
Because some people do decide they're going to relax now and get through the holidays and not buy or anything. But there are a lot of incentives to get these things done at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of times for me, December can be busy. Not only are appraisers on vacation and I'm stuck working, but a lot of people are trying to get that house closed by year end.
Yeah.
They want to get into the homesteading and everything else. But yeah, recently, I've been noticing the past 6 months, we haven't seen any huge increases in the markets overall. I mean, every neighborhood's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell people, now's not the time to be getting in that bidding war.
Yeah.
Don't be right off the bat offering $5,000 over listing because you don't want to go into that house underwater right off the bat.
Yeah.
Go into it logically, take the emotion out of it, make a realistic offer on that house.
Yeah. And we always talk about as well, be careful if you're making offers on for sale by owner properties, because they're not being coached by a realtor. They're not in a position where they probably have access to the same tools that we have with multiple listing service. And we've seen over the years for sale by owners, $300,000 overpriced for some of the higher priced homes.
Yeah, and they're going off a lot of these the websites that can give you the value. Mm-hmm. Think about it. I mean, I go to your house if at a normal house, I can probably do that inspection in about 30 minutes. I've been doing it about 15 years. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I need. I then go back to the office. I have an assistant who works on your report for an hour or two. I'm then spending an hour or so on that report to generate, that opinion of value.
Yeah.
Don't trust the website that does it in 5 seconds.
Yeah. And even the realtors, a lot of times, like I'd look at some of the either listings that actually made it online, or I'll go to a competitive situation where it's a bid or it's a interview style of, hey, our property just expired, or we're a for sale by owner. We've been trying to sell for 8 weeks. We can't get it done. And then I go in and I look at some of the other realtors, what they're doing. And they're the comparables are off. A lot of times they're inflating their value to try to what they call buy the listing. You want to explain that?
Yeah. I'll give you a great situation that I was in, and I'll tell you right now, because I wouldn't go along with everybody. I lost a client over this, and that's fine. I'll lose this kind of client all day.
Yep.
I went in to appraise a condominium.
Yep.
And now, as you know, in condos, you're going to have identical units.
Yes.
And I had three identical units, and one that was a little different but very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And my subject had, I believe it was kept very well, it's good condition, with a renovated kitchen. And I had comps that had renovated bathrooms, updated kitchen. They were similar condition. And they were about $10,000 under the contract price on this condominium.
Mm-hmm.
And I did what an appraiser should do. I gave my opinion of value.
Mm-hmm.
And the lender came back, and the realtor, the selling agent, came back and said, well, the seller is a retired broker and she thinks it's worth it.
Yeah.
I said, great. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, well, they didn't hire her for her opinion, and this is why.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's, she's pulling the comps, and she's going, well, this flooring's not as nice as ours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's your opinion. That's someone else is going to have a different opinion. And all these different reasons. And the lender was coming back. Well, can you make this work? The buyer is motivated because their lease is up. Well, then they should have been told about a different property in the complex for less money and not told to overpay on this.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to do when you go into this purchase. I know you've got to trust that realtor, but it's not a bad thing to ask for information. Are there other units available in the area? What are they selling for?
Yep.
What's everything else been selling for? I mean, one of the definitions of market value is an educated buyer.
Well, here's where I've got something to add to this that might come into play in this situation or other situations. So if you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, real estate agent here in Tampa Bay. So what also happens, what you see happen sometimes, especially with expireds, is that if they are offering a 2.5% commission minus a $395 fee, it's kind of that gray area in real estate. The real estate agent may not show this property that might be a little bit better priced because the owners are saving that extra half a point instead of paying a 3% to a realtor. And sometimes we, even with our listings, we'll bonus. We'll say, hey, $1,000 bonus if you get this under contract in the next 30 days, right?
Right, I see that.
So that might even be a situation where it's not in the best interest of the client. And I hate to say it, sometimes it happens.
Yeah. And that's the thing, and it all goes back to saying, first of all, if you're going to be buying a house, go with a realtor you trust.
Yeah.
I know we all know someone who just got their real estate license, and you want to help them out, and that's a great idea. But you know what? You want experience on your side. This is a big purchase.
Yeah.
It's funny. I always say people go out when they buy cars, and they're going online and they're seeing what's this dealership got it for, what's that dealership got it for. When it comes to a house that's $250,000, they're just like, well, you've been a realtor for a month.
Yeah.
Go buy me a house.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a tricky business. I mean, Brandon, how many times have we talked about properties and sometimes it's like we can't figure out why they're doing what they're doing. Yeah. And so it's about going out there, creating a team of people, right from your lender, your insurance company, contractors, if you're going to do renovations, your realtors, start a good team of people to go into that investment, because it's a big thing on your plate.
That's right. Yeah, power team.
Right. And get a team that educates you.
Yes.
That's the thing. You want to be educated.
Yeah.
You don't want to just assume they're doing everything in your best interest.
Right.
Get yourself educated, and a good team is going to educate you. They're going to walk you through that process.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you why this is a good offer price on this house.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do.
So for our listeners, you do a special offer out there. Let's get that in for
Absolutely.
the listeners out there. You do a special offer for
Right.
everybody.
You don't have to. Everybody thinks, when you hire an appraiser, it's going to be that $400 appraisal I do for the lender. That's got a lot of what I call lender fluff. They're not in there, so I have to give them a lot of information that you already know. I do a $150 desktop appraisal. I don't even have to go out to the property. It's an actual appraisal. It's got my signature on it, my certification. It's $150, and we'll give you that indication of value, before you go into that renovation or that purchase. I can give you that peace of mind going into that decision.
I love it. Thanks for offering that to our listeners out here. So for the first 3 listeners who text the word value to our consumer advocate number, it's 813-670-7372. Just text the word appraisal to 813-670-7372. We're going to put you in touch with Ray Hall Appraisals, and you're going to get a full appraisal. I mean, that's awesome. That's a great offer.
I'm just not giving you, a lot of times if it's a house you're living in, you don't need a sketch. You know where the rooms are.
Right.
So I'm going to take all that fluff out of it. You understand when it comes to the lending process, the appraiser is the only non-biased person who's going to that house. That's why we have to report all this information to the lender for them.
That's right.
When I'm doing it for the homeowner, there's a lot of stuff that's not required on the appraisal.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you what you need to know to get that value and to get that peace of mind.
Yeah, awesome. Great offer. 813-670-7372 or submit an email at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. All right, when we come back, we're going to jump into our lightning round. We got our top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom from our expert contributors here in studio. And we also have unforgettable quotes by Jim Rohn. We're going to drop a couple of those at you, as well as our feel-good story of the day. Fang deer, once thought to be extinct, is rediscovered in Vietnam. So find out about that and more from our expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up. TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore.
Ask an attorney about Florida law.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and saved them.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. We've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Published author and professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon. Become the MVP in your industry by surfing the radio waves. And we're back here in studio. Our goal is to help you win as a consumer advocate. And we also want to have that positivity on our show here. Every day we tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so fang deer, once thought to be extinct, is rediscovered in Vietnam. And if you're watching our TV show version, you got to see this deer. It's got literally fangs coming out the side, like you might see on a hog. Kind of looks like an old boar hog, don't it?
Yeah.
Like a hog. So you got a small deer with fangs that hasn't been seen since 1990. Has been caught on camera for the first time ever in Vietnam. The silver-backed chevrotain has been called the Chinese water deer. Was last recorded more than 25 years ago. It is the first mammal rediscovered on Global Wildlife Conservation's list of top 25 most wanted in the search for lost species. The rediscovered in South Vietnam was published in November 11, and in the scientific journal Nature, Ecology, and Evolution. We had no idea what to expect, so I was surprised and overjoyed when we checked the camera traps and saw photographs of the chevrotain with silver flanks. And the quote, the rediscovery of the silver-backed chevrotain provides big hope for the conservation and biodiversity, especially threatened species, said Min Duck, head of the Southern Institute of Ecology. And now that the silverback chevrotain has been rediscovered, scientists are now working to determine how large and how stable the population is in order to understand the threats to its survival. So it's always kind of intrigued me a little bit when you have species that have died off. It could be anything from a certain type of algae or something, because you never know. There might be the specific combination that we needed to cure cancer, right? Is that kind of the argument for some of these things? It's like, well, they have this hormone that put it in this,
or
and it does.
Or nature, or something that grows in the in the wild, or something like that could actually maybe be a cure one day. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and it's so sad when they're pushed to extinction because of especially stuff that man's done, or development that we've done.
Well, that is the first time I've ever heard of that or saw that.
I've
that's pretty
never
crazy.
seen anything like that. That was crazy.
And my kids love deer, so that would be interesting to show.
Yeah,
what do the fangs do? I wonder what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they bite things?
Are they carnivores?
They probably had to fight back in the day.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So pretty interesting story there. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Jim Rohn, the late and great Jim Rohn. He's got some awesome quotes out there. So we're doing a quick series here on unforgettable quotes by Jim Rohn. And of course, he was Tony Robbins' mentor in his start as well. And Jim Rohn's mentor was a gentleman by the name of Earl Schoaf, if you ever look back that far. So pretty cool. So number 4 on the list says, days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend. So make sure you spend each one wisely. So that's pretty cool, talking about, setting those goals out there. 80-20 rule. What are you focusing on? That's where your energy is going to go. Whatever you focus on, your energy is going to flow to. I like number 5 here as well. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So you think about that one, it's the discipline. A lot of times people say, well, someday I'm going to be this, someday I'm going to do that. The problem is someday is not a day of the week, right? And it's someday I'll, there are a lot of times people are stuck on someday I'll, but they never really quite make it to that someday in a lot of cases. Because discipline, and another quote of his, I think it says, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. That's another quote of Jim Rohn, a great one there. So let's jump into our lightning round here. We got our expert contributors in studio: Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp, and Ray Hall, Appraisals here. We're jumping into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning round.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Diane Vance.
Brandon, I would like to offer $500 off closing costs for anybody that mentions your show If they
Sweet.
call in and close by the end of the year, I will go ahead and do a $500 credit.
Nice.
Diane
I like
Vance at
Fairway
Independent Mortgage.
DianeVance.com. So reach out then. So let's do this text offer then. So if you want to take her up on that, if you're looking at, maybe if you're in a process of buying right now, you just got pre-approved, and especially if you got pre-approved through your local bank that holds your deposits and stuff, they're going to have very good rates comparable. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Yeah, very quickly as well. So go ahead and text mortgage to 813-670-7372. Text mortgage to 813-670-7372. We'll put you right in touch directly with Diane Vance and her team. And she's a regional manager. She's got like 36, 40 people or so under her umbrella. So she's got a great team that can help you. $500 credit. You could use that $500 credit, I'm sure.
And buy an extra Christmas present.
There you go. Absolutely. All right, Rick Nickerson, bottoms up.
Hey, listen, there's never been a better time. If you're going to do that flooring project, get it done now. Don't be afraid. Let the floor removal experts at Bottomzupp come in and make it seamless for you. All right, we're going to come in with our specialized equipment. We're going to protect everything. Don't be afraid of the project. Call the experts at Bottomzupp. Let us come out, provide you with a free quote. We can come in one day. 90% of our projects are done in one day. We would love to get it done for you before the holidays. There's never been a better time than right now. And now's a great time to do it.
I like it. Bottomzupp.com. 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 Ray Hall Appraisals.
Like I always say, if you're going into that purchase right now, it's a big purchase, and you have the opportunity to have a professional who does this hundreds of times a year to go into that house and determine what the fair value is and help you go into that purchase with peace of mind. Call my office, go to rayhallappraisals.com. You can get my phone number, schedule an inspection if you want me to go in, or we can do that $150 restricted use appraisal where I can just do it from my desktop and get that out to you and give you that peace of mind going into the purchase and know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I love that. A knowledgeable professional talking to an open-minded, that student mentality. I love it when my listing clients or even buyer side agents that work with our team, I love it when they have that student mentality.
Yeah.
Because they want to be educated. They want to understand the process. Yeah. And I love those questions. That's one of our resounding themes that are echoed here. All of our expert contributors, they love that educative, consultative approach when they're talking to clients, because for us, it lets us know that they're engaged, right? It helps us understand that they care about the deal, and there's nothing better for a professional from a realtor standpoint as well when you have that engaged listener that or person that's in the transaction. That's great. All right, let's do another quote from Jim Rohn here. So here's another good one, number 6 on our list. It says, if you're not willing to take risk, if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. So risking the ordinary, settling for the ordinary. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Motivation is it's that starting point, but the habit that you develop
goes back to discipline.
That's
discipline and creating good habits.
And
that's right.
Time blocking
Exactly.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we got it. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day.
That's so true.
Yes.
Very true. So the discipline side, and Rick, your days back in sports, myself, a lot of us in the room, we were all in sports, and you look at, the discipline that you have as a adolescent, and that's why it's so important to teach children not to give up on a sport. If you like the sport and you don't want to do it at the end of the next year, then that's fine. You don't have to start it, but you're not going to quit in the middle of it.
Right. And you talk about that discipline, and that discipline is required in all facets of life. And I guarantee you 10 out of 10 of your most successful business people, personalities, no matter where you see them, it starts with that discipline each and every day. That common drive, that commonality, to do it the right way and to never give up. But discipline provides that. And when I see that, this guy is speaking directly to me.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think a lot of times too, it's for salespeople too, it's making those extra calls.
Yeah.
You know, if you have mortgage leads that you're calling, real estate leads, it's, you know, hey, making those calls. You might not want to be on the phones at that time. You might not want to be doing it, but it's the discipline that you practice that's going to reward you. You're going to be rewarded later for those disciplines. All right. So we got number 9 on the list says, don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to perform are high.
Wow.
That one's pretty cool.
Just came back from Dream Big. Remember I was talking about all the top producers, you know, they do tons and tons of business, and they're very disciplined, very team oriented, and very positive, and it all makes a difference.
What was one of your key takeaways from that environment?
It was to let go of anything that I had stopping me from doing what I want to do.
Like a limiting belief.
Yes. And there was a lot of that on stage, and it was a lot of people that was their big thing.
I think that's a big challenge too with limiting beliefs, especially children today, because they're so not, you know, my generation, our generation, for the most part, you know, we dealt with it from a certain, you know, one dimensional, you know, it was there, but it wasn't following us on Instagram and Facebook. So I think that's where we see a lot of children. I don't know the exact numbers. We got, a therapist that's going to be coming on the show in a future week. We're going to talk to her about it. But, you know, these children are being pressed in so many different ways. So that I think that's leading to more depression, you know, more problems with school and bullying and those types of things.
Well, I think what happens is so much with social media, it's important, but at the same time, you don't have that personal one-to-one, face-to-face all the time.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say things online, not easy to say it to your face.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, and children are very impressionable.
Yeah, keyboard warriors, right? They're tough behind a keyboard. You get them in person. Did you really text that? Or no,
I didn't really mean it that way. But
exactly. Yeah. So it's a different
dream.
Kind of that
Dare
old
to
school.
dream.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I like that. And the final quote: learn how to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. That's the final quote from Jim Rohn. Unforgettable quotes by Jim Rohn. Hey, another great show today. I want to thank our expert contributors, Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp, bottomzupp.com, and Ray Hall, appraisals.com. Thanks so much. Great show today. And thanks to all of our producers behind the scenes, our TV show side with WeBeam TV, Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you, donate some time, donate some blood. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.